every time something triggers me, I'm not gonna throw myself back into this victim-like mindset. Why would I do that to myself? Where am I going to get in life if I choose to do that? I'm gonna get the same shitty situations. I'm going to look at the world from a viewpoint of I'm the victim, so I'm only gonna see predators and I'm only gonna see myself in this belittled state. That's not me. I'm a fucking badass. What is up, Starseeds? It's Sid. I don't know why my background seems blurrier than usual. It's like really focused on my face right now, which I'm not used to, but we're gonna roll with it. So today I have a video. I was gonna talk about some other things, but I feel like they require further research and books to be read, so we're gonna push those videos back. I think it was literally just yesterday. Yeah, it was just yesterday. On my way home from work, I was like getting in my car and a video idea popped into my mind about stepping out of this victim-like mindset and mentality that a bunch of people are in. I wanted to kind of touch on that in a video I made a couple weeks ago about how your mood and how choosing to be happy instead of choosing to be grumpy affects your life, your thoughts, which create your reality. But this victim-like mindset is kind of a whole other video in and of itself. And I literally wrote in this note on my phone about this video, acknowledging your emotions. Because yeah, like shit happens and it's not okay. It's okay to not feel okay. It's okay to feel hurt by things that people have done to you, situations that you've been put in, things that you feel like, I didn't agree to this. Why is this happening to me? Like, I don't deserve this. You don't deserve it. You're right. You don't. And it freaking sucks. And it's not cool. And it's not okay. And it's okay to be hurt by that. It totally is. But also, it's our responsibility when shit happens to say, you know what? I'm a big girl. Put my big girl panties on and go on about my life. Choose to be a badass. Okay? Even if something terrible happens to you. Let's say you get sexually assaulted. You can choose to be in this mindset of like, oh my gosh, I can't trust men now. They're all bad. I don't feel safe going outside. I don't feel safe doing anything. I feel sorry for myself all the time. Anytime somebody talks about being sexually assaulted, I am going to choose to be offended and to have that trigger me. I know things can trigger people and you don't consciously choose for it to trigger you. That's literally like why it's called a trigger. You're not choosing that. But your mindset, your mood, your emotions, how you choose to react to that is your choice. And like kind of the drama level of it is affected by you. Because I have had some terrible things happen in my life and it's not all boo-hoo Sydney. She's been through so much. There's a bunch of people who've been through worse than me, I'm sure. But in this short amount of time that I've been alive so far, I have had my fair share of crazy wild things that I'm probably never going to talk about on YouTube, and I bet none of you guys would have ever guessed have happened to me. So I feel like I do have a voice in this topic, and I can say firsthand that yes, there are things that will trigger me about certain situations, but I'm not like, oh wow, boo-hoo, I'm gonna cry about it and be all sad about it the rest of my day because somebody mentioned a word that was triggering or a situation in somebody else's life that makes me remember this traumatic memory or something. Because a lot of the times I'll just be taking a shower in the morning and I'll get a flashback of this traumatic time and I'm like, wow, let's not think about this right now, especially not in the shower when I'm starting my day. We can acknowledge this and remember it and be emotional about it for a second, maybe even shed a tear or two in the shower, but then I'm gonna come out rejuvenated and I'm not gonna let it affect the rest of my day. We can choose how wrapped up in the emotion we get. We really can. Time does help. It does not completely remove those thoughts from your head. That's not how trauma works. I get that. But your mindset changes how you see it. Even when those triggers pop up, they get better with not really just time, but with maturity and with your mindset choosing to not be a victim. Not choosing to not associate with that part of your life, because that is still, you know, a part of you, however much you want to claim, right? We write our own story. We write our own life, obviously. And yeah, if something traumatic happened to you, if you witnessed something traumatic in your life, that's in there. We don't have to take that and make it a huge part of our personality. If you're choosing to talk about helping people through these traumatic situations, you're making it something like that. That is wonderful. And to a certain extent, I want to talk about, especially younger people, about things like this and how to not get ourselves into these sticky situations with people who we shouldn't be hanging out with, etc. But I'm not going to do it from a victim-like mindset. I don't claim that. I am a survivor of certain things, of course, and I have been the victim in certain situations, but I am not gonna, associate myself with that all of the time. Every time something triggers me, I'm not gonna throw myself back into this victim-like mindset. Why would I do that to myself? Where am I going to get in life if I choose to do that? I'm gonna get the same shitty situations. I'm going to look at the world from a viewpoint of I'm the victim, so I'm only going to see predators and I'm only going to see myself in this belittled state. That's not me. I'm a fucking badass. Why would I claim the victim-like mindset? I'm simply refusing to do that. And maybe you should too. Obviously, it's up to you, but I'm just saying it feels a heck of a lot better to feel empowered about yourself and to not dwell on that. Even if you want to say, yeah, I'm a badass, I survived this, that's good to a certain extent, but you don't even want to associate with that situation that much, I don't think. It obviously depends on the person, and like I said, how much of this you want to claim, what parts of it. What really matters is the intention and the emotion behind it. So if that works for you, it works for you. But something that I don't think really works for anybody is choosing the victim-like mindset. You're not going to be a badass if you choose the victim-like mindset. Like I said, this is not about minimizing your emotions. It's about shifting them to better yourself and better your life. I feel like I could keep on rambling about this topic for a while, but I feel like that's all I really needed to say. I know a lot of you who have been through some hard things who watch my YouTube channel. So kudos to you for, choosing the badass mindset and the I'm gonna move on with my life and progress mindset. Because that's really where it's at. It's okay to reminisce and reflect and see how much we've grown and stuff, because I do that too. But you don't want to get stuck in this loop of thinking about the past. That's depression. You also don't want to get too wrapped up in thinking about the future, because that's anxiety. The present is where it's at, where the magic happens. So focus on your life, what you're doing right now, what makes you happy right now, the things that you are grateful for. Gratitude will get you a heck of a lot further than the victim-like mindset. I do intuitive and astrological Akashic records readings if you guys are interested. I also do kind of like spiritual counseling. I'm not a counselor. I am not a doctor. I have never went to college for anything. I am just a girl who used to skip high school to research astrology and ancient civilizations and all of these things that I've been interested in for as long as I can remember, and have had, if you want to call it, intuitive gifts, intuitive realizations, maybe a bit more so than your average Joe on the street, but we all have this ability. If you guys want my opinion, my take on things, if you want a video chat, just email me, sydalexandriaegypt@gmail.com. I do these readings on a donation basis still. I'm not sure if that will always be the case or not. I hope it's always the case. Donations are what really keeps me going, keeps me doing what I like to do. I don't get paid for YouTube. I know I have 2,000 subscribers, but I don't have enough watch hours to be monetized, so I am not monetized on YouTube yet. I've been doing this for 6, I think almost 7 years now, for free. Just using up my time every week because I enjoy doing it, okay? This is like a fun project for me every single week. I'm catching up on videos right now. Once I get caught up, it will be one a week, probably more on a regular basis. Like when I started YouTube, I was posting one video every Wednesday religiously. And once I had my son, I was like, yeah, I can't do this. on a set schedule anymore. It's going to happen when it happens. So in a couple more videos, I will be caught up to the number that I'm supposed to be at for 1 a week every week since the spring equinox of 2019 or whenever I started my channel. So Q&A number 7 is coming soon. Any questions that you guys have, please drop them in the comment section of this video or literally any video. I screenshot questions randomly throughout the year. I do a Q&A every 50 episodes, so it's about 1 a year, but it's a little bit more often than 1 a year because there's 52 weeks in a year. So I appreciate you guys so much. Peace out.